First one is calculate the value of angle A, right? Morning. We're just correcting the AC, just follow along. So angle A is right here. And I don't know if you noticed, but the textbook had a number down here. I got rid of it. So you basically didn't have to, guess what does that number down there do. But you do have a pair, right? The 10 degrees and this side here is across that angle, right? So that would indicate that, first of all, you set them up like this and then see what else you can solve for, right? And in this case, angle A has this side 3.7 across from it. So you need to go sine of A like that and then put 3.7 meters down. If you have this set up, you get 1 mark already. Okay. Then we cross multiply it like this and down. So it's 3.7 times sine of 10. All of that divided by 2.05. Okay. Yep. You only have A up here. This. So you're just doing this. On a test, I would take off half. But right now, you can just let it go for today. Because AC, I'm a bit more concerned with, like, do you know how to do it, right? And so here we will find what that is. Where is my key? That gives you, if you type this in correctly, you get something like that, right? So I just write down a whole bunch of decimals. I'm going to use all of them. So angle A is sine inverse of that. Angle A gives you 18.27 degrees. If you have that correctly, you get 1 mark. So 1 mark for setup and 1 mark for the work that leads up to it. Yep. If you did what? Right here? Like you just got 18.27? Okay, that's a good question. If you go sine of A and this and then answer, that is technically not correct. Only when you find A, you use the inverse, then you get the 18.27. So if you had put it right next to this here, that would have been fine. So I would say also on a test, I'd take off half a mark for that. So, I would say on your study sheet, have an example of how you do the inverse. That way you know, right, what's expected. But I appreciate that question because that happens quite frequently. And notation is what it comes down to. Yeah. Yeah.
If I run the drawing on first one, and
here?
Yeah, and everything else, I use the same number.
So what did you have here? 3, 1, 3, 4.
I'll have there, like,
here?
Yeah, I have 2, 6.
Did you use 5 decimals here?
Yeah, here.
Is anybody else getting 2, 6 if they use 5 decimals? Yeah? Okay, then no, it's okay. You get the marks. Yeah. Yeah, I used all the decimals. So I would honor both. Yeah. Yeah, I'd honor both. Thanks for bringing that up. When that comes up, just let me know. I don't always think of those things. Right, Y or B. So we're asked to find this here. And again, I'm going to start with the pair I have. Boom, right? Why not? Okay, well-known fact, start with that. Now I need to, in order to find B, I need this angle here, right? So I'm going to do a separate on the side here. I'm just going to go 180 minus 10, right? This 10 degree minus the one I just found. And that gives me 151.73. If that shows up anywhere, you get a full mark already if you're doing that. If you didn't show the work, that's fine. If it shows up anywhere, you get a mark. Yeah.
You wouldn't get a point for that, right? If you rounded it.
Right. If you have 0.26 here, then this would be 7.4. So that's fine. Yeah. No deduction at all. Even if you did make a rounding mistake up here, I wouldn't deduct it again here. We're assuming that we're going by what you had here. Okay, so then that's what you go and plug in here. Side B like that. Setup, you get 1 mark for the setup. Then you cross multiply and divide. 2.05 sine of 151.73 over sine of 10. B is 5.59. I would say resist the temptation of doing the trains, right? The equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, right? Like just do setup, boom, boom, and then you're safe. You're not gonna lose marks, right? So no inverse here, a bit less work. So 1 mark for the correct final answer. Yours might be slightly different. I don't think it will be different, right? Those of you that, yeah, it won't. So 5.59 is what we're after, and that's that, right? So let's go to question 2. This one, there's going to be a question like this on the test. Guaranteed. Like there's a guaranteed. So the sooner you get on these and you're trying to figure them out, the better you're gonna do. So here it is. Calculate the angle of elevation of the wire to the left. So they're asking for this. I'm just gonna call this A, right? Boom. I want a letter there that I can reference that to. If you look at the big triangle, I always do big triangle first. Forget about the pole for now, because we can, right? We don't need right triangles with sine law. And I notice that I have a pair right here. And that's what I'm going to start with. And that's meters, right? That was a typo there. And then because I have this side, I can easily find that angle. So you go sine of A over 6 meters, right? And so you get a mark for that setup. And then the next line would be sine of A is 6 times, right? Cross multiply and then divide. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Breaking the lead here all the time. Settle down. 0 point. If you don't get a 0 point, you're in trouble. You're going to get math error or something error on your calculator, okay? You did something wrong. Something isn't right, okay? And so if you type that in, you get 0.75036, and that keeps going, okay? But that would be 5. So the next line is angle A is sine inverse of this, right? You can just do dot, dot, dot if you're using all decimals, even if you don't, right? And then you get 48.62 degrees. So I would say 1 mark for setup. And if in this particular case, I'll give you a full mark for showing the sine inverse step, and then 1 mark for the correct final answer rounded to 2 decimals. Is there a rounding issue here or no? No? Okay. So this one I would have expected you to be able to do, right? The next part is the tricky one. So this is where you have to pick a triangle, because if you want to know how high up the flagpole are the wires attached, they're asking for this length right here. I'm going to pick the right side, okay? So I would strongly, strongly encourage you to draw it out, right? That makes a 90 because the height is at a 90. You call this something, X in this case. We know this is 6. If there had been, listen carefully, if there had been a side length down here, you cannot use it in this one because you're cutting it, right? Don't use it. There was one, I got rid of it, right? So 6, and this is 36 here. This angle follows you. You have a pair right there, and that's what I'm going to start with. Sine of 90 over 6, and then it's sine of 36, right, over x. Cross multiply and divide. If you remember, sine of 90 is just 1, so you don't even have to type that into your calculator. I would still want it to show up here. And so that is 3.53 meters. That's how high up the flagpole they're attached, right? We don't know how high the flagpole is itself, but we do know how high up the pole they are attached to. So I basically then, right, focused on this one. You could have done this one, but sometimes one is better than the other. In this case, because you knew this angle, you could have used this one as well. So you should get the same answer. Okay, so this page is out of 5 and 5, so this is out of 10. This page is out of 10. Backside, some vehicle finance, blast from the past, I call those, right? And this is where your blue sheet, I've said it, right? I'm going to say it again, bring that with you, right? Not just for this unit, for all the units we're doing. That's why I want you to build it, okay? Don't make a new one every time. Anyways, Charles purchased a Toyota Tacoma, right? From his dad. That should tell you it's a private sale, right? For $1, right? The book value of the truck is $12,500. In order to pass safety, right? There's a set of tires needed. There's rust that needs to be repaired for $2,300. The shop charges $95 for a 6-hour repair. And the safety itself, the check, will cost $75. So lots of information, but let's see what they're asking us for. So the parts and labor before taxes, so no taxes here. So parts and labor. Sometimes it's not called parts and labor, so just make sure you understand if there's some kind of repair and some parts needed, then that's what we're trying to figure out. So it's $1,400 plus the $2,300 plus $95, and it's 6 hours, right? So that's kind of how one way of showing it. It doesn't have to be done exactly like this. And that gives you, I'm going to do one more line where I show just this part right here. That's $570 on labor, and altogether $4,270. Now you know why it was worth $1, right? It was the dad, and second, lots of repairs needed, right? So this is the answer. So I would say if you set it up like this, if you show this or some sort of work, you get one and another one for the final answer. Okay. And then next, calculate the total purchase price, including parts and labor and safety, after taxes. So use private, $1. That's what you're paying, right, for the car. And then you have to take the book value, because obviously the book value is greater. And then, yeah, go ahead, Brian. And then 7% PST, which AutoPack is going to charge you, but you need to pay that. There's no way around it. Then there's the formula I gave you. I think I do safety first, right? It doesn't matter, but that's how you would add GST to the safety. 4270 times 1.12, because parts and labor would be taxed 12%. So here we go. Let's do the breakdown. I would give you, I'm going to change the marks here. 1 mark there, 1 mark there, and 1 mark there. 3 marks if you did that correctly. If you do your PST, safety, and labor correctly, you get 1 mark each, and then you're going to get 1 mark for the final answer. So 1 plus 875 is the PST. This is 7875. And then there's 4782 40 for all these brackets. And here's 57, 37, 15. Still a pretty good deal for a car, right? A truck. 5,700. And here I wanted you to think. Yeah. You have a question? Okay. Can I do it right after this? Okay, I'll come see you, okay? Justify why Charles should consider purchasing a new truck instead. So you could say it's safer. You could say that there's lower maintenance. Yeah. Physical damages. Okay. So okay, as long as you didn't say hidden damages, that was my clever way of doing this. If you say hidden damages, it's a no-go because it's your dad, right? You would know any hidden damages. So hidden damages is a no-no. Everything else goes. Okay. Yeah. 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 But AutoPack will not fall for it, right? That's why they have the book value thing. Actually, look it up, but I believe that if your dad, your guard parent and grandfather can actually gift it to you, you still have to pay the PST, but you don't have to safety it. Look it up. Like AutoPack has a thing on that. Because my dad once gave me a car, and I didn't have to safety it because it's just like it stays within the family. So the assumption is that it's still safe, right? Look it up. I don't know exactly if it's changed. Yep. Why would you do it? If you want to register the car under your name, then you have to like do the bill of sale thing, or some kind of like sign that transfer on the back of the registration. I think if it's a gift, that can just be set on that bill of sale, like it's just a gift as is for $0, and it's still like then you can say that car legally belongs to you. Yeah, if it's written off, let's say you get into an accident, it's written off, you get the money. So sometimes you just want to keep it under your dad's name. Sometimes it's better to transfer. If you move provinces, if you want to use it as a trade-in, right? It needs to be on your name if you want to use that car as a trade-in for a new car. Yeah, the dollar threw you off, didn't it? But it's true. You can make it worth whatever you want, right? Lower maintenance, you name it. You know the drill here. How far is the wires attached to the ground? So if you look at this question here, I wanted to know like how far here, right? This distance. So I basically did one of these, and I know that this is 559, right? You figured out that long wire on the outside. You know this is 1827 up here. So you have your pair, and this angle will allow you to solve for this side here. I will fast forward and I will just tell you that it's 1.75 meters. However you did it, I don't care. If you show, there's more ways than one. I think you could have done Pythagorean theorem. If you did a bunch, maybe. So, however you got that, were you going to ask about that more? And you got the same answer? Okay, as long as you get the same answer, you're good. +1. Okay? It's a 1 bonus mark only. Okay, so